The market capitalization of the coin is used to summarize all that is taught in this video. I would also like to remind you to give my channel a like and subscribe to it so that you can stay up to date on future XRP news, as well as other cryptocurrency news in general. After that, have a look at this comparison of Ripple to SEC. The misbehavior of the SEC is brought to light by John Deaton. John Deaton, an attorney who fights for Bitcoin, has provided additional insight into the dispute that was recently concluded between Ripple Labs, North Carolina, and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, South Carolina. The most recent information indicates that Deaton has made allegations that attorneys working for the Securities and Exchange Commission have engaged in purposeful misconduct. It has been alleged by John Deaton that the Securities and Exchange Commission has engaged in improper behavior. In an interview that was conducted not too long ago and published on YouTube, Deaton indicated that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) committed a violation of the law when it declared XRP to be a security. Recent events have resulted in the United States Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) issuing an apology for the confusion that was caused by the use of the term crypto asset securities. On the other side, Deaton asserts that the Ripple venue case was a poor use of resources, including money, energy, and capital. According to him, the XRP suffered an immediate loss of $15 and individuals were liquidated as a consequence of the litigation that was initiated by the market regulator because of the situation. Your assets should not be liquidated as a result of excessive government intervention. Because the government and these unelected bureaucrats are taking the actions that they are taking, adds Deaton. Because the government is taking the actions that they are taking according to his estimation, Ripple has put more over $100 million into defense. According to Deaton, he and other members of the XRP community have stated their desire for the SEC to remove the wording that indicated XRP as a security in order to bring an end to the matter. According to him, the Securities and Exchange Commission did not comply and even beat them. He made the statement that the apology that was issued by the SEC is not acceptable. The plaintiffs also argued that the case was the result of deliberate misconduct on the part of the attorneys representing the SEC. According to Deaton, who asserted that those who participated in the decision-making process ought to be fired from their jobs, those individuals should be considered for termination from their posts. Going on to suggest that Ripple and the XRP community ought to be reimbursed for the significant litigation and expenses that have been incurred as a result of the misbehavior of the SEC personnel, he went on to argue that this should be the case. According to a post that Deaton made on X prior to the interview, the excessive participation of the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) in the Bitcoin market has caused ordinary investors to lose $15 billion. The remarks that Deaton struck a chord made with a significant number of XRP investors, including those who were not part of the community, helped to spark conversations that are still going on today. The question is, will there be an appeal? He made these comments at a time when there is a rising debate about whether or not the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) will appeal the verdict regarding Ripple. The former solicitors for the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mark Fagel and James Farrell, are certain that the SEC will file an appeal, as was predicted in our earlier piece. They say this with absolute certainty. Furthermore, attorney Fred Rispoli indicated that the Securities and Exchange Commission has not yet made a judgment and may wait until the very last minute to announce an appeal. This is because the SEC has not yet committed to a conclusion. In contrast, Ripple's chief legal officer Stuart Alderode has stated unequivocally that the business does not intend to file an appeal against the ruling. It was said by him that Ripple had been successful in obtaining a stay order on a penalty of $125 million while additional proceedings were carried out. It is possible that investor caution and market volatility will continue to have a negative impact on XRP in the meantime, particularly if the case continues to drag on for an extended period of time. There has been a reduction of 0.71 over the course of the previous 24 hours in the price of XRP, which is at $5,883 at the time of this publishing. There was a decrease in investor interest notwithstanding the challenges that are currently being encountered, as evidenced by the fact that the trading volume for the 20 hours reduced by $15,000, reaching $938. During the time when Ripple is getting ready for the Ripple Swell 2024 event, observers are anticipating that XRP will see advantageous breakthroughs. Agora is just another move that has the ability to drive XRP towards higher pricing, regardless of whether or not Ripple is actively participating in the project. For the purpose of expanding Ripple's reach on a global scale, this project, which is being led by the Bank of International Settlements, will be of assistance, as was indicated earlier by CNF. The expectation surrounding the potential introduction of an exchange-traded fund debt that might be based on XRP has reached new heights as a result of recent comments made by Brad Garlinghouse, the chief executive officer of Ripple, during an interview. It is possible that the introduction of exchange-traded funds at TFRP will have a significant impact on the cryptocurrency, which will undoubtedly lead to an increase in its utilization and a wider range of investment options. With the comment, this indicates that information regarding a BlackRock Spot XRP ETF is likely to be released shortly. The video was submitted to X by an influential member of the community who goes by the name Jack the Rippler, a prospective exchange-traded fund that will invest in XRP. During the course of the conversation, Garlinghouse expressed his optimism with regard to the future of exchange-traded funds. a test, which includes a number of different tokens, one of which being XRP. In light of what he stated, we would unquestionably enthusiastically welcome it. I also believe that it is inevitable that there will be multiple exchange-traded funds on a variety of tokens, and this is something that I believe will happen. This statement demonstrates Ripple's hopeful attitude for the adoption of XRP into conventional financial instruments, as demonstrated by the former. Additionally, Garlinghouse made a tangential reference to the prospect of the establishment of exchange-traded funds that are comprised of baskets of different tokens inside their portfolios. I believe that you will even see exchange-traded funds left potentially around baskets that also, I believe, further diversify that risk he noted in his observation. I believe that you will see exchange-traded funds. This diversification may provide investors with a more comprehensive strategy for investing in the Bitcoin market, which might be beneficial to them. During the course of the talk, a more specific path was taken in answer to a question regarding the possibilities of collaborating with big issuers such as BlackRock. Garlinghouse acknowledged the public comments that BlackRock had made as well as the wider ramifications for the community, despite the fact that he abstained from providing particular data for the time being. Regarding that particular matter, I will not make any remarks. To the best of my knowledge, BlackRock has made a number of remarks that have been made public. He stated that the XRP community as a whole is of the opinion that this choice is reasonable. We believe that it is a sensible decision. As a result of the importance of XRP in the cryptocurrency world, Garlinghouse drew attention to the enormous role that Ripple plays within the ecosystem. At the same time, he brought emphasis to the fact that the company is not the only contributor to the ecosystem. It was brought to the attention of the audience that the previous performance of XRP had been given, and he made the following observation. Before the lawsuit against ECE, XRP was the digital asset that was considered to be the second most valuable there. I believe that we have now witnessed that to a significant extent have changed as a result of the headwinds that were produced by that particular case. The litigation, on the other hand, has been resolved, and it appears that the digital asset may be on its road to recovering its status. It is the overriding purpose of Ripple and the XRP ecosystem to continue to place an emphasis on utility and the resolution of problems that are encountered in the real world. On the other hand, Garlinghouse made a statement that supported this concept by stating that the long-term perspective on these things is about how to produce utility and solve problems that are encountered in the real world with these various digital assets. In the future exchange-traded fund ETF, emerging events give support. The statements made by Garlinghouse have offered more support for the concept of an exchange-traded fund, which is known as XRP. Furthermore, the recent launch of the Grayscale XRP Trust has already formed the circumstances for increased interest from institutional investors. When it comes to transforming assets that are held in trust into exchange-traded funds, Grayscale is required to go through a number of different processes. Moreover, exchange-traded funds ETFs would make investments more accessible to investors, which might potentially lead to increased liquidity and market stability. As a result, investors have declared that they do not intend to challenge the decision that was made in the SEC litigation that was previously made. It should be noted that the material that has been supplied is not intended to serve as business advice. In the event that any investments are made on the basis of the information that is provided on this page, there is no responsibility for those investments. Prior to making any choice on investments, we strongly recommend performing independent research and talking with a professional who is educated in the field.